Hello everybody. Time for something I've been wanting to do. Body movement level 2. So this is everything I'm about to say in the next 10, 15 minutes. I'll try and keep it to that length. Will be based around your ability to have accomplished the basic understanding of the movements in body movement. Video level 1. So we'll quickly review those just to make sure you know what they're going on about. So we had we're going to use the cameras again, all three angles, but a slightly different way. We'll actually hit shots with them this time around. So we had the three, the stick here, and the stick here, and the stick on the ground. And the whole idea, remember that from there, the movement patterns was to make a full turn, right? Load, and then rotate through. So it was like concept of making sure that you get used to making a backswing, right? Leading without any rotation and then rotating last. Now, obviously, the idea of that movement drill was to eliminate any issues with over the tops and what have you. So let's quickly do that before we get into level 2, which are going to be the next step in how you dynamically connect those parts into a much more functional golf swing. Because obviously, if you go ahead and you make a full turn, you load, and then you hit, it's not bad. It's going to be a little push hooky. But for a lot of players, it's probably going to be too complicated to get all that. But we'll quickly have a look over here at that stuff. So if we sneak on back here, the whole idea there from setup is to get a couple lines going, shall we? That's my backside there. And that is my spine there. We're probably going to see a little bit of a lateral movement potentially. No, a pretty good turn there going. So I make there, and then from there I go forwards. You can see how I have not rotated anything here yet. Once I've gone forward, you can see how much my spine's gone forward. And then from there, I swing through, and then you can see how I'm staying back. I haven't had any early extension as I swing through. And obviously that's from the roof. Not everyone's got one of those. So we're going to go from down the line, full back swing. I lead my lower half and then swing on through. Now, that is, pop over here again, that is level 1. Not very dynamic. You can only swing so fast going here, going here, and going here. And we haven't spoken an awful lot about what your arms and where your hands are going, right? It's just basically training these things here first, one thing at a time. First, get some understanding of where your chest is and your torso and your hips. Just getting that feel is great. Now, level 2, there are 2 drills you're going to have a go at. One you're going to absolutely love. The other one you're going to be like, it's probably not for me. We'll cover them basically more for the average golfer whom is struggling with their classical over-the-top scenario that even when he makes a nice turn and a lead, he's not quite sure where he'll find his arms and hands going out this way, and then he have issues with the ball and all sorts of funky-dunky stuff. So we'll go through those 2 drills. I'll hit both of them. Then we'll break them down on the software, the Performance Studio software, bit by bit from the angles. And let's just get into it, eh? So drill number 1 is you go ahead and you make the turn and you get used to doing a lead at the same time. So we go turn and lead. So instead of going turn, lead, and then your arms come through, you're going to get the turn and lead at the same time. So by the time turn, lead, and here. So you get yourself in this situation here where you are ahead of the golf ball, your mass has really gone forward and your arms have dropped pretty much behind you. This is an anti over the top move. All right, it's going to make it very hard to slice, to cut the golf ball, very easy to draw the golf ball. So let's hit one and show you how it all looks broken down. So up, forward, stop here. So you can see how deep my arm is. You can see my lead arm is pointed quite a long way off to the right of target. And my wrist is flat, matches that club face. If you haven't got this club face stuff or no understanding of it, watch that coat hanger video. That's very good for getting some face awareness. Anyway, so we go up and forward, and then from here, you go ahead and just rotate through. And that's going to hit shots that start right and curve left. Lucky I did that. So if we crank back here quick, so we can see I've made, let's go up above. I'll tell you what, this is recording 3 seconds before impact, I believe. Yes, I'll hit one doing that a little bit quicker so we can get the whole thing in there. Here we go, all right? Turn ahead and rotate. That'll do the trick. Cool. So here we are. So you're going, you turn, have your backswing, and you actually get the forward and load all in one movement, and then you stop. Now, obviously, your club speed is not going to be very, very, very quick. Ball speed isn't going to be high, and all that sort of stuff isn't going to be great. So you're not going to hit it that far doing this, but you're just trying to get used to a feeling of getting into a position where you are fully turned and forward before swinging through. So you're getting yourself in a position where all you have to think about then is rotating through, okay? So it's up, and you get the hip going forward and the weight going forward and the arms dropping behind, or before, so you here, and then from here, all I have to think about is just turning everything, my chest, my hips, everything can rotate to the target. Can turn as hard left as I want. I'm not going to cut the golf ball if I've gone that deep behind me. So there and behind, and rotate as much as I want to the left, my whole body, the ball, because my arms are here and behind. I can rotate hard. I can't really fade the golf ball from there, unfortunately. So it's there, drop it behind. You can see the arms dropping down literally, and then rotate through. Now, obviously that's not for everybody. Not everybody wants to hit push draws. We'll cover it in a second, the other movement option there of how to hit a fade. Actually, with that draw, before we go to the next draw, we'll show you how to hit that fade if you wanted to hit a fade. If your problem was getting stuck behind and you were hitting too bigger hooks and blocks, that would not be the draw for you, would it? So you'd go up, and then you can get a feeling of coming down and forward and having your arms coming straight down in front of your feet. So you go full up and turn, and then you get the feeling as I go forward, my arms coming straight down in front of me, not dropping behind. So that'd be a different issue for the player. I'm overdrawing the golf ball or pushing, blocking, overhooking. Very small percentage, but you go up here and you get it out in front, so your lead arm's out in front of you, right in front of the middle of the chest from down the line view, and then from there, when I rotate through, I'm going to hit a shot that starts straight, and it will bleed off to the right. So if I get my arms here and then rotate, I'm going to hit shots that, we'll have a look at that little video in slow-mo, so you can be able to see there how it's straight up in front of my chest line, and then from there I can just rotate, and I'm not going to hit blocks and hooks from there. I'm going to hit pretty straight shots that bleed to the right. Now, depending on where you are in your golf journey, one of those options is going to be best. If you're the over-the-topper, or you're the guy that's hitting pull shots to the left that are going further left, then you're going to need to go the one where you go, as you go, you make sure you go forward and drop your arm behind you. That's a long way behind, isn't it? Yes, definitely, sure is. And then from there, you're going to hit shots that it's going to get the ball started way further right and then drawing back. So you see some launch direction there, 7 degrees right. It's a long way right. But because the wrist conditions are good and what have you, for you, if that's your problem, the pulls, once you fix the wrist conditions, you got the pulls, then that's going to straighten that flight out for you, and you can hit these nice little optimized little push draws for a start. Then if you get pissed off with that and you're over blocking or overhooking, or if your issue is I keep getting stuck and I'm too much underneath, then you can go about starting to find where that happy place is with the arms staying up in front, and then from there rotating through to reduce that, and you hit these nice little peeling fades. So that is the number one option. Okay. The next draw, that's drill number one, and then you modify it to suit you, please. Number two option, the other way of skinning the cat. In this one, body movement wise, is certainly very good for a player who's looking to get a little bit more dynamic and especially struggles with fat shots and has issues with just getting the spine going backwards, hits the ball too high, struggles to get compression and forward shaft lean and impact. So what we do here is we have sort of a takeaway, sort of get to the point where you almost make a little V with your lead and your trail arm, your lead arm and the shaft. You can see a nice little V there. So it's just past takeaway and you stop. And then from here, as you go up with your arms, you let your body start going forward and you just swing through in one go. All right. So instead of it going here into the spot and then just rotate, now this is a little bit more, I suppose, dynamically demanding. You're going to go here and stop. This is as much weight as goes back, by the way. That's as much weight as transfers to the right side. The rest of the golf swing, spending its life going, even though your arms are still going up, your body starts going towards the target, right? So we go here and stop, and say I'm trying to hit my draw here. As I go up, I go forward. And now I'm going to start to, obviously, because my spine's going to be in such a better place, the trajectory or the high point of the shots are going to be much lower, and my launch angle is going to be way lower. So this number right here, my launch angle will be right down there, and we'll have a look at that from face on. It's probably a good way to look at it. So we're going to go back. This is as much weight as I transfer to the right side. Then from here, as I turn back up, you can see there how my spine, my weight's going to feel like it's working towards the target, and then whack. So once my arms start coming down, my body is already a long way ahead of the golf ball. Again, I can just rotate through from the roof. So that's as much weight as transferred behind the ball. You can see my head's almost gone behind the ball. From here, the rest of the swing, I start going forwards. So it's a great way to stop yourself sliding backwards, getting stuck, all those niggly things. So that's body movement drill number two. And again, you can modify that to develop a fade if you wanted. You go to here, you stop right there, and you go, yep, cool, that's it. As I go up, my body starts going forward. Same thing. And then I'm going to feel like I'm hitting kind of that'll almost probably be a low pull, I would assume it felt. Yeah, a little pull cut. Cool. So it's a great way to definitely get my mass ahead of the golf ball and certainly stop myself getting this situation where I'm spine's going the wrong way. That's more almost a body movement for the spine drill. So we're here, you take stock, that's where I'm at, and then as my arms go up, my body starts working towards the target. And then that, whether I'm turning this way for the draw up here, I start turning the other way for a fade, I have those options. But as always, I think you want to start with learning the draw, the right to left shot, and then once you've got that down pat, you can work your way to choose the fade or neutralize the flight to be pretty straight. But certainly start with the draw. So get those two in. If you're going to go back to the start of the video, watch that that first draw again, over and over again, as many times as you want. It's going to help a lot. I hope that makes sense. Comment down below. Subscribe if you want to see more of these videos. I wouldn't mind that. And any questions, please don't hesitate to ask. All right, talk soon.